My name is Robert Chapman, and this is the Clinton Board of Aldermen recap from June 4th, 2024. We started the meeting off by hearing from Courtney Nunn, our Director of Parks and Recreation. Our Director of Communications and Tourism, Marley Price, was scheduled to present, but she is currently in Macon, Georgia, attending a training for tourism. Courtney, however, always has plenty to share with the board, and so she easily filled in. She mentioned that the youth tennis program has begun, but parents can still register their kids if they would like to participate. Traceway Park will play host to several tournaments, weather permitting, with the Clinton Baseball Association hosting their summer tournament this weekend, hosting close to 40 teams. Traceway will also host a USSSA baseball tournament, as well as a 7v7 football camp hosted by Jackson State University. Fall sports registrations are underway with soccer, flag football, the Jelly League baseball, and the Diamond League softball gearing up for the fall. Information for signups can be found online. Starting June 7th is the Summer Adult Co-ed Softball League. Courtney mentioned last time that she had an itch to start a dodgeball league, and that will start on September the 14th. Teams of 8 can register for $40, and aside from the championship title, there will also be awards given out for best team name and best uniform. Now, if you need some information or would like to review the official rules and skills needed to play, you can always count on American Dodgeball Association of America's most famous athlete, Patches O'Houlihan, and his 5 Ds of dodgeball: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Now, cult classic movie references aside, if you'd like to review the official rules, you can visit usadodgeball.com. Now, Courtney has for a while let us know that her crew is understaffed. So in the spirit of controlling what she can control, they've been training their staff on various pieces of equipment to help fill in gaps for the time being. She's also got a few local leadership conferences planned for her deputies to attend in order to grow from within. Courtney is president-elect of the Mississippi Recreation and Parks Association, so she's got a few meetings slated with them, even hosting February's MRPA meeting right here in Clinton. She had the chance to offer up some updates, like the Brighton tennis courts being resurfaced. They really do look good. The walking track and bridges at Traceway are undergoing repairs and renovations, and the issue involving standing water on softball field 3 has been taken care of. Even after all the rain that we've recently had, the field no longer has a problem with water not draining from the edges of the field. She mentioned one of the biggest tasks at hand that the board was to act on Tuesday night, and that was the lighting project for all the playing fields at Traceway. The plan is to install quite a large number of LED lights at each playing field. This will be the biggest lighting project the state has seen. Having LEDs will allow for kids to catch fly balls or kick that game-winning goal with less glare. This will not only help them be better athletes, but the better lights will help them see better, giving them a better chance at staying safe. She mentioned that the landscaping projects across town have been completed or are almost complete, and that the 4th of July Red, White, and Blue Fest is just around the corner. Former contestant on NBC's The Voice, Karen Waldrop, will perform, and there will be plenty of food trucks and activities for the kids. We jumped into voting on agenda items, and the first item dealt with the lighting project. Like I said earlier, it's slated to be the largest lighting project in the state, a $5 million project funded by a bond. It will take care of lights at Traceway as well as down Pinehaven, starting at the Parkway and going north to Arrow Drive. It will also allow the city to purchase old concrete poles away from energy. First, we had to vote on the resolution to engage the necessary professionals in order to proceed with procuring the bond. In this, we selected the company Path to help us handle the engineering and the particulars of such a large project. They're a Mississippi company and specialize in just that. The goal is to have this completed before July 4th, 2025. If it's completed sooner, then that's just icing on the cake. Sherry Landrum donated $400 to the Clinton Fire Department in honor of former fire captain and paramedic Jim Allen, who passed away a few weeks ago. We also received an $11,400 donation from the Clinton Soccer Association to pay for 6 fields to be verticut along with the 4 that were already budgeted. Verticutting allows for roots to be severed and top dressing and fertilizer to better be absorbed in the soil. We're at that time where streets in need of paving are being graded and identified. I know everybody thinks that their street should be at the top of the list, but there have been a few streets identified as priority. The list can be found on the city's website, clintonms.org. We did vote to begin the advertising for these streets to be paved. We were notified that the Quail Hollow Culvert project is now underway and bids have already been submitted. The good news is that the numbers came in lower than what we were estimating, so we're moving forward in a financially responsible way. Battery Drive is being improved in order to allow for McNeely Plastics to expand. The city is going to apply for a Delta Regional Authority and CMPDD fund that will pay 80% of the project's cost, with the city on the hook for only 20%. We heard from Philip Lilly, our Director of Public Works, who requested permission to enter into an agreement with Cintas to have them provide first aid kits on each of our trucks. Instead of using city time and effort to keep these first aid kits stocked, this agreement will allow for the workers to have first aid kits available while using their energy to stay focused on tasks at hand and not necessarily on the first aid kit inventory. We granted a couple of dimensional variances that dealt with large properties wanting to deed off a couple of acres, but the entrances to these locations were in bends of a road or in cul-de-sacs. We also granted Roma Italian Restaurant the ability to put a sign on their building. I gladly recommended this for approval and might have bragged on their menu while I was at it. We also extended the permit for the tamale truck on Clinton Boulevard, but not without hearing from Jim Martin on how he thinks that food trucks are detrimental to the city and to brick and mortar restaurants. Now, previously, we had a plan in place to establish a food truck court, but that seems to have stalled a little bit. The mayor mentioned that there are a few options that have just recently made themselves known, so we'll look into those in the near future. Now, I love the tamales at the food truck, so I unashamedly voted to extend their permit. That passed with only one vote against. I guess this is just another example of those who are for economic development and those who are against it. We also voted to follow through on taking action against one unkempt property, and we were notified about a previous unkempt property that will be closed on and updated by the new owners. We ended the night with the approval of 11 new employees and an updated job description for an assistant events coordinator and now social media manager with Main Street. It really was a great meeting as we enter into June, inching our way towards the next round of budget hearings. They're not too far away, and we'll have our work cut out for us for sure, but more on that later. If you see me out and about, please stop and say hello. Keep taking care of one another. Look out for your neighbor. And like always, I appreciate your time. Happy June, y'all.